Hi superstars, I'm Cali-Jāz and welcome to my channel, dedicated to helping you craft a life of your dreams. Welcome to day 7 of this 21-day positivity challenge. This will wrap up week 1, and I just want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for being courageous, being willing to try something new, and for being an influence of positivity in the world. So welcome back. If you're just joining for the first time, I recommend you go back and start with day 1, for which I'll leave a link to in the description below. So how was day 6? Did you spread the news, the good news? Did you notice a difference in how you felt when you allowed more good news in and you said no to the bad news? I'm curious to see if you noticed a difference yesterday. This is a practice I've done for a long time. I realized that watching the news and negative things just really brought me down, and I decided, I want to feel good more of the time. Of course, there's some important news that I want to know about, but on a general basis, when I read a headline, if I know that it's going to bring me down, I just pass it by. And if I know that something's going to bring me up, I like to read it. And of course, there is the fine line between things that I think I really need to know. So I've done it for a long time, and it really has impacted my life in a positive way. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you had fun spreading some good positive energy around if you chose to do that. Okay, so let's get on with day 7. Day 7 is super exciting because it is really when it comes to conscious creation, I think it's one of the most powerful things you can do to create your reality, to create your life consciously. And so today is day 7, and I'm calling today looking for the beauty. So, looking for the beauty, what does that mean? Well, in every moment, we are bombarded with millions, literally millions of bits of information. If you were to look at it from a computer perspective, there's just tons of information entering our awareness, or even our subconscious awareness, all the time. So sounds, people, lights, colors, things, shapes, forms, smells, imagine all of your senses are always receiving information. And it's tons of information, and your brain has to decide what to pay attention to, because it really can't pay attention to everything. It can actually only pay attention to a very small number of things. That's your conscious mind. So when you're choosing where to put your attention, your subconscious mind takes in a lot more, but it takes in a lot more based on what your conscious mind is choosing to look at. It's really interesting. So when you're going through your day-to-day activities, most of us are kind of on this autopilot where our subconscious mind has these beliefs and patterns that say, this is my reality, and this is how the world works, and this is what's going to happen today. And so then we make conscious choices to put our attention on everything that validates what our subconscious belief system says. So there's a lot there. I could go on for hours just talking about this, but I'm just going to do a high level and say that where you choose to put your attention will really define how you experience the world. It really does. And so for today, what we're going to do is we're going to intentionally look for the beauty. We're going to, if you find yourself in a situation where you're feeling, especially for me, that's sort of my trigger. When I feel myself in a situation where something's irritating me or I don't feel good, I stop myself and I say, okay, where can I put my attention that's going to bring me more joy than what I'm experiencing right now? Where can I focus that I'm going to see more beauty than the ugly thing I'm looking at? For example, the other night I got home late, and my son, who's almost 14, he'll turn 14 this month, had been home a little bit late, and he was hungry, and so he had gone in and he had made himself some food, and I got home and the kitchen was a mess. He had made food, but he hadn't really cleaned up very well, and there was stuff just kind of all over, and I had had a really busy day, so I came in and I was like, my first impression was ugh, have all this to clean up, and thinking, why didn't he pick this up? And why didn't he do this? And he knows better and whatever. Started going down this rabbit hole of negativity. And so I just stopped myself and I was like, wow, where can I look for the beauty here? And it was so easy because I said, wow, I was late. He didn't call me complaining that he was hungry. He let me do what I needed to do because I was busy working, and he made himself dinner. Like, wow, he just went and did it, happily did it. And I was like, suddenly went from being frustrated with him to really proud of him. And so I directly went straight to his room and I was like, hey, I just wanted to say thank you so much for giving me the time to do the work that I had to do and for making your own dinner. And I hope you liked it. And do you need anything else? And whatever. And he felt good. He felt good about himself. He felt proud. I felt good acknowledging him, and I felt good appreciating him. And that frustration that I walked in with was transformed into this beautiful sharing. Whereas the other version, the other path I could have taken would have been to go to his room and say, why did you leave this out? Why did you do this? And create this negative connection, negative interaction between us. And so really, it's so powerful. Every moment you have the choice to choose to see the beauty that's there. There's always beauty there. So, and then, of course, later I can talk with him and say, hey, would you mind next time, if you make yourself dinner, would you mind just rinsing out the dishes or putting away this? And he's going to feel so good about it because he feels proud of what he did and he wants to feel proud in the future. So it's a really beautiful way to mold your future reality by focusing on the beauty. So today, your challenge is to do that. If you're in line and someone's cutting in front of you, if you're, in traffic, there's always a possibility to find the beauty in the situation. Maybe someone cuts in front of you in the line and you say, well, I'm so thankful that I'm not in a hurry. They're clearly in more of a hurry than I am. Thank goodness I'm not in a hurry. I'm happy to let them go. Ooh, they have such a cool outfit on. Hey, I love your shirt. Where did you get it? And you just transform that energy into beauty and love and positivity. So I encourage you to try it today. It's not that easy, but if you are putting your attention on it, I think that you'll find that you have the power to transform your moments day to day, your day-to-day moments, your present moment. That is, where you spend your entire life is in the now. So this is all about controlling your present moment and forming it in a way that it brings you the most joy and the most positivity. And then one other thing I wanted to mention that goes hand in hand with this looking for the beauty is something called expectation theory. Now, there's expectation theory with respect to financing, like financial trades and things like that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about expectation theory in that what you expect usually happens. And I'm going to give you a little story to go with this. That's, for me, fascinating. So they took some teachers, and what they usually would do is when they were receiving a new class the next year, they would give them the information about the students, and they would say, these are the students that usually do high, and these are the students that usually do, lower grades or marks, and they would sort of set the stage for the class the teacher was going to receive. So they did this test, this test with them, this experiment where they told the teachers the opposite. They actually told them the students that were the best students were actually the ones that had done the worst the year before. And the contrary, that they told them that the worst students were the ones that had done the best. And so the teachers came in with an expectation with their students. They were like, okay, this is the best student in the class, this is the worst student in the class, and this was their expectation. Now guess what happened? Yes, the students that had been represented as being the best students, that actually had been the worst students the year before, did the best. And conversely, the ones who were said to be the lowest didn't do so well. And so that teacher's expectation, that teacher had the expectation of what these students could do, and they expected that from them. And when they expected that from them, the student showed up and acted accordingly. So for me, it's so fascinating because the people in your life, they are also, when they show up in your life, because we all show up differently with different people, but when you show up with someone, you are going to meet the expectation they have of you, unless you're really conscious and you're really going out of your way to be deliberately different. But the people in your life are responding to your expectation of them. Life is responding to your expectation of it. And so how amazing is it that if you set your expectation to see beauty all day, that you're going to see more beautiful things. And so, yeah, I think it's so exciting. I hope that you enjoy trying this, and I hope it brings a ton of new, surprising, beautiful things into your reality today. And I would love to hear how it goes. I would love to hear the magical, serendipitous experiences that you have, because really when you set your expectation to see the beauty, when you set your expectation to look for the good in people, when you set your expectation to have an amazing day, it really is magical. And so the mantra for today is, where I focus my attention defines my reality. Where I focus my attention defines my reality. And it really does. So practice focusing your attention today on beautiful things, on beautiful moments, on expecting the best, and when it doesn't happen, looking for what the little nugget of beauty that's there. And I hope you have a magical day, and I hope it's full of beauty and positivity. And I'll meet you back here tomorrow for day 8 of our Positivity Challenge. Today wraps up week 1. Congratulations. I honor your presence here and your contribution to positivity in the world. You are an influence of positivity. Thank you for being here. I will see you tomorrow. And until then, big love to all of you, and I'll see you then.